All right, guys, is the last live stream. Well, no, I got one tomorrow on this channel for 2024. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me today. I'm going to go over my 12-month action plan, which is perfect for roll you into 2025. So if you've never done a wholesale deal before, or you just got started in wholesaling, or maybe you started wholesaling in the beginning of 2024, you got off track, or you're just off, this video is exactly made for you. Now, it won't be the most exciting video, but if you literally follow what I tell you to do and push yourself, not only get your first deal, get you your first $100,000 in wholesaling, but you got to listen, because most of the stuff you have to pay someone to get behind a paywall to do it. Today, we're just going to walk you through it. Now, I'm going to use the skill sets I did when I first started and the skill sets I still do now. And more importantly, the skill sets I teach people on a daily basis to get started in wholesaling. The biggest problem I see is it's easy to start wholesaling. That's never the problem. I get more people to start wholesaling than anything else. The question is, can you stay the course and get the job done? So if you struggle with this today, I'm going to walk you through it. And the really cool part is I'm not asking a credit card or anything, but the question is, are you actually going to do it? So make sure you use the comments. Let us know what area you're from, what market you're servicing, and why not make a wholesale friend? On this channel, we talk about wholesaling because it's what I do best. It's my biggest strength. And I found wholesaling by accident, and I've made it my life mission to unravel the secrets of wholesaling, to share them with you and get rid of the paywall and show you how you can do deals. And then hopefully you do deals with me. This is called Marketing 101. I figured out how to market people. Now, I have my own marketing sources that I create from my own leads. And then I have you guys, the best of the best. And so you're going to learn a lot about marketing today, because that is the #1 skill set, the super skill you must master as a wholesaler. Without it, I'm just going to tell you the truth, you're not wholesaling. So if you're going to just buy your leads from somebody else and skip the highest skill set in wholesaling, let's be honest, you're most likely a fix and flipper, because if you plan on doing that for your entire career, you're going to get disappointed. And I'll explain on how and why. So here's what I'm going to do. Last time I had an issue with this, but we're going to try it again. If you guys want to do a one-on-one, I'm going to put it up there. And when we're done with our 12-month action plan, you can hop on and do a one-on-one with me. If you want to work on yours, if you want to talk about a wholesaling deal, I don't care. Maybe your mind's stuck. We can work on that for you. So let's jump into it and let's get into it. So why do I do a 12-month? Because this is the end of the year and you need to understand on setting a course. Now, #1, if you don't write it down, it does not exist in your mind and it will not become part of your reality. I already know this is a fact. When I didn't write stuff down, it was hard to make myself accountable, and it was hard to remind myself of the direction I was going in wholesaling. So we have to fix that first. So the first thing you have to understand, there are just 3 segments to wholesaling. We got to break down the 3 for you to be successful. Am I going to teach you all at once? Absolutely not. It's simple. Marketing, acquisitions, and dispositions, period. We have to simplify what we're doing. You guys read way too many books, you take way too many courses, and you pay way too many people to try to figure out wholesaling. And in fact, all you need to do is understand the 3 core fundamentals of wholesaling: marketing, acquisitions, dispositions. Now, I will tell you, first and foremost, if you skip marketing, I'm probably not going to be the guy to help you out in wholesaling. And honestly, there's other people that will teach you it, because in my opinion, when you skip marketing, you don't understand what derives a great wholesale lead. You don't understand the value of creating your leads. And finally, it's going to be hard for you to drive your business. One of your most expensive costs in all of wholesaling is marketing. So if you don't master it yourself, it's extremely hard to outsource it to others. And yes, you can buy leads, you can do pay-per-click, pay-per-lead, but eventually, if all wholesalers go in and do that, it will cease to exist because it'll be too expensive. honestly think that's where we're heading to, but some people just can't see their own demise coming down. So it's important you understand marketing so you can derive your own leads, because in the beginning, you don't have a lot of skills. So I will tell you this, if you want to do wholesaling and you want to skip marketing, just shut off this video because I can't teach it to you. I've never met a great wholesaler that did not master marketing. It teaches you how to carry yourself, it teaches you to talk to people, and it teaches you to connect with others for symbiotic relationships and getting all sorts of deals done outside of real estate as well too. Without marketing, you can't attract the right people, you can't communicate, and how are you going to attract a motivated seller if you can't figure out how to get them in your own? You're just going to have to trust everyone's word, and that is going to lead to utter disappointment for you because people will rip you off out there. So if you know that going into it, understanding you must master marketing first. In fact, if you don't master marketing, don't even worry about acquisitions, don't worry about dispositions, because your wholesaling business will not last. I know what you're saying, Rick, I'll just jump to paid per leads. Good luck with that. You don't know how to talk to people, you don't have the skill sets yet, and it's going to be the most expensive 6 months of your life if you can survive it with no income. Imagine paying somebody out with no hopes of getting money back. That's what you do when you eliminate marketing from wholesaling. So don't skip it, embrace it. The sooner you understand this, the more transparent, the more simplistic wholesaling comes. So many people try to outsource this part, and you can get lucky for a little bit, but there is no substitution for being a great marketer in wholesaling. We are looking to attract a very particular type of seller. I just give you the acronym, a motivated seller, an ODN, off market, direct to seller that needs to sell. If you can hit on all three, they're the greatest wholesale deals you'll ever take down. Do they all hit all three? Not always. But if you're looking for people who just want to sell their house, that filled out a form on the internet or put their house on MLS, those people typically are your worst wholesale leads, in my opinion. And why? Because they don't really need to sell it. In fact, they're going to sit back forever and probably never make a decision. And worst off is just literally waste your time. So let's get into it, understanding these three phases. Marketing. If you master marketing, you have a great shot at wholesaling. If you skip this part, you will not last. I've never seen anybody last that skips marketing. Because even if you become really good, how are you going to attract the right opportunities, the right people, the right systems into your business if you don't know how to spread the word? That's what marketing is. It's attracting what you're looking for. And if you don't figure this out early, it's a long, long road. So if we're going to go through and understand this, we have 12 weeks. I'm going to simplify this. We're basically going to break this down in 3 segments. So we can typically do these in sets of months of 3, but we'll break down the first few months. So the first months 1 through 3, you're going to focus on what we call outbound marketing. Why? Number 1, you have no experience in wholesaling. Number 2, you have very limited money or the amount of capital. Yeah, there are people started wholesaling with almost no money. I was one of them. My son was one of them. And most of you watching this are in the same shoes. So what's your choice? Rick, how can I start wholesaling without any money? There's people that right now will tell you you can't do it. It just is never going to work. If I took that advice, I would not be sitting in front of the camera here for you. You can do it. You can make it work. You're just going to have to work harder. There is no substitute for it. So if you understand that, months 1 through 3, we're going to focus on outbound marketing. Why? Because you're going to have to go out and hustle and chase leads because you don't have the funds to do paid leads. These are going to be like internet leads. These are going to be pay-per-click, Google, stuff like that. They're expensive. Guys, on average, those leads are $400 to $500 per lead. So do some math in your head. If you got 10 of those leads, that cost you $5,000. And if you didn't close 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5, whatever it is, you're going to be in trouble. And understanding that variability, those leads used to be $50, now they're $500. And the more people that decide, I'm just going to skip marketing, I'm going to buy my leads, we're just going to keep bidding up to the point where it's not even going to make financial sense. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I already see it happening right now. So the idea is we're going to focus on outbound marketing because that's the only way to get started in wholesaling without money. There is no other way. There is no secret sauce. There is no software. There's nothing. You have to hear me out. You have to do outbound marketing. Rick, what type of outbound marketing do we start with? That's simple. That is easy. So let's just jump into it, and I'll show you how we're going to grow this thing into a wholesaling business. So the first month, let me get this off here. Before we get started, the first thing you are going to do, let me put it up here, is go to freewholesaling.com. Here's the good news. It doesn't cost you any money. This is a no-brainer. There's over 30 years of education on this. 3,500 deals closed. We give you the truth on it. Why? Because I want you to be successful in wholesaling. But Rick, why do you want that? I don't know. I'm selfish. And if you're successful, it makes me successful because you can come back and do deals with me. In fact, we are working on 5 deals right now with all you guys. And we'll share the details on them, how they went down and everything. That's right. You can create lead source when you learn how to market. So if I go back 22 years, I'm teaching the skill sets I used then, I still use today, and you'll see how this all wraps together. By me working with everybody across the country, I create a phenomenal lead source for my business. That didn't happen by accident. It happened by just master marketing. So if you get anything from this video, you're going to have to master the marketing up front. So start out at freewholesaling.com, because guess what we start with? Marketing, the #1 skill set you can learn as a wholesaler. If you don't get this right, it is very, very tough to get leads. And if you pay for leads, you won't even know what you're paying for because you don't even understand what you're looking for. So let's get back over here and get started. Where did I put my list here? Here we go. So month 1, simple. We're going to get government lists. You want to learn more about government lists? Go to freewholesaling.com. We have over 9 sources, but I'm going to start with the basics so you can get your brain wrapped around it. So now you're in the freewholesaling.com. You should have deep dived into the marketing segment. Watch the videos 4, 5, 6 times, like immerse yourself in it, bathe yourself in it. It is what we call Rick soap, the wholesaling soap. That's how you become really good at what you do. I know you're going to tell me, I got ADHD, I got all this stuff. Welcome to the club. When I find something that gets my attention and I feel it's going to solve a problem in my life, I go all in. Like I immerse myself in it. It's one of the downsides of ADHD, but it's worked out wonderfully for wholesaling. So if you're like that, then go ahead and take that attitude, especially over the holidays. You can deep dive into any of this stuff. Pretend you paid me $5,000 for the course, whatever you think the going rate is, and then just invest it in yourself. Why? It's all there. You already know it works. If you don't believe me, look at all our testimonials, 100% organic. I've never asked anyone for a testimonial because the product speaks for itself. I don't have to do an MLM. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I know it works. I've been living it for 22 years. So we're going to first thing, code violations. We call them CVs. Pre-foreclosures, which is someone that is just getting behind on their mortgage, and tax delinquencies. You've got to get those 3 lists first. Why? That's usually the biggest smoke plume. They're one of the easier lists to get, in my opinion. Code violations you're going to work a little bit more for. And the other thing you're going to add for it is a list that only you can get, that you have to earn. It's called driving for dollars. This is simply getting in your car, looking for ugly houses, tall grass, blue tarps on roof, boarded up windows. You get the drift. We don't need a course for that. If you want to learn how to do it, go over to freewholesaling.com. And by you collecting these addresses, you now have what we call an offline list. You're going to have to earn this list. But this list is so amazing. Honestly, I'd rather have 500 driving for dollars than 5,000 high equity leads. Why? Because I used my eyes. I know there's a problem. And keep in mind, guys, people don't choose to have their house look like crap. They don't. They don't want to be on it. And our job is to help them get off that list, hopefully be able to get their house sold, to solve a problem, to get them in a house that they can afford, that they can have pride in, and create a win-win situation in the whole thing. So pre-foreclosures, obviously behind on payments. And then the last one, tax delinquency. This is when people are behind on paying their real estate taxes. The sweet spot is 2 years or more at the average median price of your market, and eliminate any city or county owned properties, especially vacant lots, because you don't want to market to the city or the county, because those are the properties that nobody wants. So everybody have that. That is step one. It is the simplest one. It is all surrounds itself around outbound marketing, and that's what you do. Go crazy. Whatever you think for leads, you're going to have to 10x. You're starting at 0. To get to 100 miles an hour, you got to get to 1 mile an hour first, then you got to get to 2, and that doubles your effort. Okay, we're not even going to approach 5 miles an hour in the first one. You have to get going. This is a lot of work. You're going to have to take a lot of action. You're going to have to get these lists. These lists are what creates the roadmap for your potential motivated sellers. Without a list, in my opinion, you have nothing. So consider your list suspects or prospects, whatever you want to call them. And within there, if I get 100 leads, I can usually find 3 to 5 people to talk to me that have interest in selling their property. Remember, we've already sold the off market because we went out and got the list ourselves. We're going direct to the seller, no real estate agents, no lawyers, no trustees, right to the seller. And we want to find people that need to sell their house. Once you understand that, you have gotten started. This is what I tell everybody who gets started in wholesaling. Why? My favorite ones are they go, Rick, I've got money. I got $60,000 laying aside. I want to skip this line and I want to get to the big stuff. Okay, that's fine. You want to jump to pay-per-lead, pay-per-click? You can do it. You're just money just going to go out one way because you have no idea how to talk to these people. And do you really want to practice with $500 leads? It's terrible. It's a worst time. I'd rather you sit down with 2,000 FSBOs through Zillow. It would be more productive because at the end, you would have 5,000 conversations. You might have 0 deals, but you're going to have a ton of experience. If you do the paid route, you're going to quit after about 10 or 20 leads and go, man, I just smoked through 10 grand. I can't keep this pace. I should probably quit. So all roads lead to repetition. So I have people come in all the time with tons of money to do wholesaling. And can you skip some of the process? In theory, you can, but it usually comes back to haunt you. Most people don't understand what type of seller they're looking for. And until you figure this out in your marketing for wholesaling, if you want to do wholesaling, this is all we teach here. I'm not going to teach you how to go buy a property, do fix and flip. There's plenty of channels on that. If you just want to do pay per leads and all you want to do is focus on your closing ratios, that's not really wholesaling. It's just, you're just playing numbers on a sales game at that point. And honestly, I find those leads are very limited in their profit. You're very rarely going to have a 6-figure deal in that. Why? Because the leads are beaten to death and people bid them up. And for that, the bottom line is most of you getting started with little to no money, you're going to have to go out and cut your teeth on basically outbound marketing. That's you going out and chasing everyone. I don't know any other way around it. I cannot sugarcoat this. You have to do it. And if you're not willing to do this part, once again, cut the video off because it means you're not cut out for wholesaling. If you can't get to 1,000 phone calls without getting your feelings hurt, you need to reset your expectations in wholesaling because that's what it's going to take. I already know when someone's in trouble and they go, hey, Rick, how many phone calls do I have to make to get a deal? My question is, how many calls are you willing to take to get a deal? And when they say there is no limit, I have the right person. If you have a limit, you might as well stop now because you're already programmed to hit that limit and fail. It's a given. So month 1, very simple, code violations, pre-foreclosures, tax delinquencies, driving for dollars. Now, I didn't get specifically into the counts because everything I'm going to tell you should be 10xing. So if this was 500 leads, I'd tell you to turn it into 5,000 leads. How? Add the driving for dollars and drive every stinking day. If you don't have a car, get on your running shoes, get on your bike. I don't care what it is. Driving for dollars is seriously one of the best ways to get not only to get your first wholesale deal, to get a fast wholesale deal. Because once you can put eyes on it, that's the differentiator between you and all the other prospect lists. And hopefully nobody else really has that list. In fact, I will tell you, driving for dollars, very few lists beat it. The problem is you can only do it so many times in so many neighborhoods. And I'm going to teach you some things to help you out with it. So everybody's got month 1. Don't worry, it's recorded. So now we're going to move on to month 2. So everything we're going to do is the same as month one. So this builds. Like, Rick, that doesn't seem like a lot. Trust me, month one was heavily focused on outbound marketing, which you need to ramp it up and just swing the bat on it. Just, you need to go. Like, this would take me all day to do this when I did it. I'd be driving, I'd be going in and out of courthouse. I would be finding anywhere and everybody that I could pull a list from. And if I didn't know how to pull a list, I was getting help from somebody. Now, back when I started this, there was no help on the internet at all. In fact, the help was pretty painful. But what we want to do is we want to keep adding. So we're going to add a few more government lists on it. Remember, I told you there's up to 9. To find them all, go over to freewholesaling.com. So we're going to add evictions. Why? Evictions is simple. These are landlords that are booting out their tenants, usually for non-payment or bad tenant damages or anything like that. Why is this a great opportunity? Because when the transition happens, that is the best time to get a hold of the landlord. Are landlords difficult? They can be. It sure the hell beats calling pay-per-leads or pay-per-click, because at least you know they have a property and you know they have a problem. If you can catch them at the right time before they clean it up and put a tenant in, that's going to be the best time to sell. In fact, I have sold a lot of my own properties just off the eviction list, having other wholesalers reach out to me. Just why? Because timing was perfect. And most of real estate, especially in wholesaling, is going to be based on timing. So the next one is we're going to add reverse driving for dollars. This is just a marketing technique. Now, the driving for dollars actually collects the list. The reverse driving for dollars is taking your code violations, your pre-foreclosures, your tax delinquencies, and putting a sticky note on the door. It's extremely efficient. Now, back in the old days, I just door knocked. You are not above door knocking. In fact, do whatever you got to do to get a lead. So if you do reverse driving for dollars, you can use it in a twofold way. Number one, you go up, put the note on the door. Someone asks, what are you doing? Just say, we're putting notes on houses in the area. We're looking to buy some more houses for cash. Do you have any interest? If they chew you out, I'm just the guy putting the note on the door. If they want to have more questions, you're the guy that answers the questions. So it gives you an out in case the situation goes bad. Now, make sure you're complying with all your city and county laws. In some places, it's actually illegal to knock on the doors, especially Port St. Lucie. Don't do it or they will issue an arrest warrant. But make sure you're complying with your state laws because they're constantly changing. Now, you're going to have to talk to a ton of people. So in month 2, we've added the reverse driving for dollars to do the efficiencies on your government list. Why do we do it? Not to drive, not to drive you nuts, not to waste your time, because it has a much higher conversion rate than a simple old cold call. That's right. We are basically stimulating people with a curiosity piece. And remember, the whole goal of marketing, I'm a master marketer, is how can I get my prospect to engage me legally and ethically? Simply ask them a question. Most marketers, the really bad ones, and there's plenty in wholesaling, is they put way too much information out there. They write a long letter. They have a postcard with both sides. It's full head to toe. Nobody's ever calling on those postcards because you already know what they do. If you create a question or a curiosity in the seller, you will win in marketing. And that's what you'll eventually learn in wholesaling. But in the beginning, we are just making you do the marketing. We're not having you overly think about it. We're thinking about pulling prospect lists and then engaging them with a marketing medium. So months 1, 2, and we're going to go into 3, you are predominantly doing physical door knocking, stickers on doors, reverse driving for dollars, simple cold calling without a complex system, and SMS text with Google. Now, can you up those? Oh, at any time. There's plenty of paid services to do it. But let's face it, guys, we don't have a lot of money, so we have to understand this. So I put you on month 2 right there. So remember, we're going to do everything we did in month 1, which is this. And we're going to add reverse driving for dollars and evictions. You need to keep doing each one of your marketing and stick to it. I'm not going to have you pull 9 lists in month 1. You're welcome to do it, but we've got to get some consistency going with you. So if we understand that, we got 1 and 2. Now we're going to roll up on month number 3. We're just adding on this, and we are having a heavy emphasis on outbound marketing. Why? You don't have money and you don't have the skill sets yet. This is how you get started in wholesaling. Everybody wants to skip the like year 1 after you get started, but most of you struggle getting started, and I know that for a fact. So on month 3, we added what we did in month 1 and month 2, and in month 3, we're going to add arrest records, fire damage properties, and water shutoffs. Now, if you want to learn details on how to do that, once again, go to freewholesaling.com. All the information's in there. There's no catch, just go in there and learn it for free. The question is, are you going to retain the information and are you actually going to take action? Only you can make that decision. I've already put all the information out there for you. Why? I want you to get deals under contract. I want you to call me if you need a partner. I get it. It's scary when you start wholesaling. But what's scary is when you sit around and just like consume too much information. You've got to get going. Don't go back. You can replay this. You can freeze it. You can do whatever you want. Month 3, we're just adding more government lists. So at this point, we've pretty much pushed almost every government list we can get within 90 days. Period. All focusing on outbound marketing. And once again, I keep stressing this. You have to do outbound marketing in the beginning because you do not have the money, you do not have the skill sets, but you do have the time to do this. And this is where you're going to go through the journey of wholesaling and you're going to get the reps in. And those reps are going to expose you to every type of conversation, objection, any resistance you're going to get. It's going to build your confidence so you can easily talk to anybody to get a wholesale deal done. The question is, are you actually going to do it? So months 1 through 3, it's all about marketing. Guys, if you skip the marketing and wholesaling, I just don't know where you go with it. I'm sorry. It's the absolute truth. So months 1 through 3, we're going to focus on outbound marketing. If you understand that, you can do damage in wholesaling. Here's the challenge is, guys, we have no leads. So we're going from 0. Most of you want to go to 100 miles an hour, but you're not willing to go to mile 1 and then double it, go to mile 2 and just keep working your way up. Wholesaling is a progressive build. Nobody goes from, hey, I just got started to their 100th deal. That's kind of how it's taught. It's not the reality of the business. In fact, most people will not survive through their first 6 months in wholesaling because they're going to quit, because they're going to get scared, they're going to get uncomfortable. Those people were never made to be in wholesaling, because if things scare you right off the bat, don't even start. It's not hard. Will it be easy? Absolutely not. I promise you, will be a rough ride. The only difference between you and me is I'm still here doing it. The question is, will you join me and do it? You can absolutely do it. So I'm just reading some of your comments. Okay, I'm starting some. I don't even know what PWP is. You're going to have to elaborate on that. Okay, let's keep moving here. So now we're through months 3, and basically we focused on outbound marketing to get in front of people. Remember, the more opportunities you have to find people off market, direct to seller that need to sell their house, that's where you're going to find your first wholesale deal. You're not going to find it on MLS. It's like fairy tale stuff. Are there wholesale deals on MLS? Yeah. They're not supposed to be there, though. You got to question why they're even on there. It could be the seller's fault. It could be an overzealous realtor, or it could be 2 people that just don't know what they're doing, and they're going to build a cash buyers list on MLS. Good luck with that. So months 1 through 3, we have focused on outbound marketing. Now, we are going to switch to month number 4. And guess what we're going to do in month number 4? Ready? 4 through 6, here's the game plan. You are still going to continue everything I've taught you at this point, which is a lot. Months 1 through 3 is intense with government list and outbound marketing. Now, we are going to add the variable of some inbound marketing. Now, here's the really cool part. These aren't paid for services. These are services you're going to create on your own. And we are starting to push you. We're starting to tax you, and your days are getting thin because you are in the full press court module of trying to find motivated seller leads. I can't tell you, from month 1 to 6, you are in a dogfight. And you don't have experience here, and you're going to have to create as many opportunities as you can. And you're going to have to sift through a lot of rejection to get what you want. Now, so everyone sees that. We're going to do outbound marketing. We did through months 1 through 3, and then we're going to start adding inbound sections of your marketing. You notice how I'm not jumping you to pay-per-click. I'm not instantly throwing you in direct mail, and I'm definitely not doing paid per leads. Why? You're not ready for it. You're not ready for it. Remember, if you do wholesaling right, it has nothing to do with your ability to close people. It strictly has to do with your confidence to be able to talk to people, to help them, to be a great listener and solve a problem. If you can do that, you can do any wholesaling deal. You're never going to sell those people. I love when people say, I have to, I'm the best at closing on this and that. Wholesaling is really, it's not about closing. It's just about solving people's problems. And I find it is indicative of your confidence and your ability to have been exposed through thousands and thousands of reps. You know exactly how to solve their problem, and you know the fear that the seller is in. And your job is to make them feel better about it, to help them through the process. And the reality is help the seller get out of their own way. And if you want to do that, wholesaling is perfect for you. So months 4 through 6, we're just going to add inbound. So let's get more specific on it and show you how to do it. So month 4, this is when we're going to add probates. That's right, I said probates. Now you can start off earlier, but probates are best if you can pull them from your physical courthouse. Some of you have the ability to pull them online on your virtual markets. That is awesome, but probates are dynamite. Now, on an average good-sized county, you're not going to have more than 60 or 75 leads in a month. And remember, you have to cross-reference those and find people that actually own real estate. And your job is to find the PR, the personal representative or the executor of that estate. And then remember, once they're appointed by the court, they have the same decision-making ability as the person who's deceased. That's the person you have to connect with and see if you can solve a problem. Don't rush this process. Don't be scared because you don't understand it. Go over to freewholesaling.com. We'll teach you the basics on how to get through it. And guys, if you ever want to do 6-figure deals, you better include probates, because those are the deals actually not in my opinion, and my factual data of doing deals have the highest profit levels, period. They're typically houses with a ton of deferred maintenance. We take care of people at the end of their lives, not the property. That's perfectly fine. They're out-of-state owners, and they're vacant. I mean, that's the perfect recipe for the greatest wholesale deal ever. But we can start with probates. We specifically do letters. I provide you with the template. We tell you to mix it up so not everyone's sending the same letter. I've been doing this a long time. Get a little bit creative with it. And we teach you how to create curiosity with that probate letter. It is specific. Postcards do not work on probates. Don't even waste your time. The next one, digital marketing. This is where we teach you to do digital bandit signs in Facebook groups, Instagram, Discord, you name it. Why? Because it works. We're in a digital world, so why would you not think it's going to work on that? Here's the difference is, most wholesalers will go out and pay people to do this, and when you pay people to run online ads for you and you don't understand how to market, you have no idea if you're getting a good return on your investment. You have no idea what the click-through ratio is, and you have no idea what the percentages should be. This is why I'm trying to let you understand marketing. As you get in marketing and you get more deals under your belt, you get more funds, and then you can talk to people that will give you the truth and educate you how marketing works. When it comes to running online ads, it is very specialized, and it takes a tremendous amount of resource, money, and energy to do it. And unless you want to spend a couple hundred hours, which is going to take just to learn the basic minimums, this is why I don't want you guys running these ads. You don't have the financial resources and you don't have the time. And honestly, you really know what you're doing. So we're going to teach you how to go into these groups organically, how to do these posts. Once again, go to freewholesaling.com. I'll teach you how to do digital bandit signs. It just requires time. I will show you how someone like me used to pay 7 to 10 grand a month, and I'll show you how to piggyback on my comments and everything else 100% legal, because people like me that didn't understand digital marketing, we don't understand the comments, we don't understand how people take advantage of us, and if it's legal, then go for it. Remember, one of your greatest skills as a wholesaler is learn how to be resourceful. So if people are dumb enough to pay to 5 to 7 grand and trust a third party to handle all their marketing and they never look at it, I'm going to teach you how to hack into that, because the real deals are in the comments on these. You know, you're saying, Rick, why don't they just shut off the comments? Because they're told shutting off the comments massively lowers engagement, so they always have to leave them on. The problem is most of them never ever follow up on the comments, and they're leaving money on the table. So we want you to get started on that. And then we're going to add networking, good old networking. What do I mean by networking? This is where you actually now getting some skill sets on how to market yourself and talk to other people and share the skill set. How do I do this? Number one, start with your title company. They're one of the greatest resources of all people in wholesaling to connect you. They know who closes fast with cash. They know who has all the cash. They know the best realtors in your area to get stuff done. We'll talk about that a little bit later. They know who loans money out. They know every probate lawyer. These people are an amazing resource, and a lot of you just don't utilize them. Now, don't start off and ask them for every lead in the world without you doing any business. That's not how business works. The other part is you want to go to your local RIA meetings, real estate investor associations. This was a big part of my startup in wholesaling, because I didn't have this beautiful camera in front of me and like talk to people. So I had to get in a car, get on a plane, and go meet with other wholesalers. And we just sit there for whatever it was, 3-4 hours and talk about everything wholesaling. Well, Rick, why do I want to go to one of these meetup events? It's just a great place. Like some of my best friends in wholesaling, we derived at meeting at these places. A lot of the people you see on the internet were all people I met in these meetings. And even though they're private, I know a lot of them are recorded and they're public now. It is phenomenal. Hard money lenders, title companies, investor-friendly realtors, JV partners, people that you can actually help them get a buyer for their deals. Like, it never stops. And everybody has to do some form of networking. If you want to say you don't, or you do, but it is one of the fastest ways to get the deal. So networking, a lot of people are like not doing it anymore. And I'm just telling you, you're doing a disservice when you don't do the networking. Now, that's month 4. So remember, month 1, 2, 3, 4. We keep doing them all. So this is going to add up. I'm not here to give you like 3-day breaks. Take Sunday off if you want. I'm still going to tell you to work Sunday, though. I'm sorry. I'm tired of this fairy tale thing where we have these perfect balanced lives. It doesn't work that way in the first 2 years of wholesaling. So we're almost halfway there. Month 5, I'm going to add physical bandit signs. And this is where we're switching over with the probates, the digital marketing, and the bandit signs. And we're adding some inbound marketing. And what do I mean by inbound marketing? These are leads that are going to call us. This is one of the hardest parts of wholesaling, because you're doing this outbound. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is extremely taxing. Like month 1 through 5, it's a lot. And it's by design. It is all designed around marketing. But now a lot of people want to stop doing their outbound and they just want to switch to inbound. Well, if you do it, you're going to run through a huge lull in leads. Remember, we need to build up tons and tons of leads. The more opportunities, the more chance you have getting a wholesaling deal. So that's right. I'm going to have you do outbound and inbound at the same time. And this is where I get usually the most amount of pushback. And I'm just saying, listen, you said you would do anything in the first 2 years, you would make the sacrifice. We're here. Are you going to make it or not? And this is what separates the wholesalers from the ones that turn it into business and the ones that just kind of do it here and there as a hobby. So we have added physical bandit signs. If you want to know how to do this bandit signs, go to freewholesaling.com. Top line is sell your house today. Second line, any condition, any situation. Third one is your virtual phone number. One side, white sign, black ink. You can do blue with a handwritten Sharpie. Don't go spend $1,000 on signs. You just put out 10 or 15 and get started today, tonight, tomorrow morning, whatever it is. Why do I like bandit signs? Yeah, they're really old school. I agree with you, but they work. And here's the crazy part. They still work today. You can control every aspect. As long as that sign sits out in some sort of busy intersection where someone can drive by and take a picture with the camera, you've got a shot at getting a deal. All you need is a phone call. So you know what the key to a bandit sign is? I used to have people teach me bandit signs like, leave this long 2-minute voicemail and an 800 number. Guys, no, listen to me. To this date, if I dropped in your town, I would do the signs just like I told you, 3 lines, and then I would stand by, and the minute that phone rings, I'm answering it. You know what I'm saying? Hello, and I'm just going to talk to people. I'm going to be my true authentic self, and I'm going to tell them to tell me a little bit about the house, and I'm going to go right into MCTP. You want to learn more how to do that? Go to freewholesaling.com. In fact, I'm going to put it on the bottom here so you guys can burn it in your mind, because you're like, what's that site he keeps saying? It's right there on the bottom. Listen, guys, I love bandit signs. And most of you go, you can't do that anymore. Listen, look around in your town. The elections are over. They freaking work. And you don't have to go big budget. You can spend less than $50 a month on bandit signs. Don't go out and do 500 at once. Go get 10 or 20. Go to a box store, get an 18 by 24, get a black Sharpie, and write the 3 lines. That's it. Don't complicate, and consistently put them out every week. And if you're getting calls on the spot, keep them there. It's called guerrilla marketing. When you got 10, 15 signs in a tight area, everyone's like, man, dude, this guy buys houses. And all you need is have them call you once. And when they call you, for God's sakes, take care of them, because it takes a lot of guts for someone to call. So let me ask you, if they call me and I answer the phone live and I get their name and I ask them about the house, and they call my competitor and they don't answer the phone and it goes to voicemail, who do you think is going to win? That's right, whoever answers the phone. So if you're going to take this step, and I'm telling you, you will be rewarded if you take it, answer your phone. Don't go this far and chicken out. I know some of you are like, oh my God, he's like thinking about me. I'm telling you, you went this far, get it done. I've had calls at 11 o'clock at night. I've had them at 6 a.m. in the morning. Answer the phone. It takes a lot of guts for someone to call and say they need help. So I believe everyone. If you're picking up the phone call and I assume you need help, and I'm going to treat you like that. End of story. I love bandit signs. I don't know why everybody kind of shuzz on them. So we've gotten through month 5. And by this time, you should have a few properties under contract, or you should be very close at this point. This is the part where you 10x the leads, and predominantly came from outbound. Now we're polishing it with some inbound to try to maximize your marketing effort. So everything we've done up this point has been about marketing. I have not once even talked about dispositions. I haven't said a word about acquisitions. Why? Because if you don't figure out the marketing, the other 2 are just a waste of time. You want to be balanced in wholesaling? It ain't going to happen. I'm just going to warn you. If you don't have leads, leads are like blood in your body pumping through your heart. Without blood, dispositions dies, acquisitions never takes place. You have to have marketing. So many people want to skip this, and that makes them dependent on other people to supply leads for them, which eventually it'll be like oil. They'll jack the price up so high one day it's not even going to make sense. You're just sitting around waiting for that day. Don't wait. You always have to be in control of your leads. Can you pay for leads? Absolutely, but know what you're paying for. And most importantly, have the confidence and the skill set to be able to talk to these leads so you can convert them. In the beginning, you do not have that skill set. Once you start to master marketing, this little thing called confidence starts working its way into your wholesaling business, and you are going to figure it out. So, okay, let's keep going here. Okay, so month number 6. So we've already maximized outbound. We started the light inbound. So we're going to add another little caveat to it, because your business should be growing every month. It should be exponential. But remember, In the first year, everything has to focus on getting the most marketing opportunities you can get in wholesaling. Remember, without the marketing, you don't have a business. Next one, just get a basic software. My recommendation is going to be XLEADS.com. Why? Because it's $49 a month. You can pull all your lists. You get 15,000 leads. You can skip trace all your government lists. You can upload and download for the 15,000. I can't make this anything simple. You can run all your comps. You can have the full CRM plus the ninja mode. So why would you hire an employee when you can get a software for $49 a month that is going to lead to your lead count getting to at least deal number 5? It doesn't have to be XLEADS. Why you do somebody else? Because you don't have to pay for the skip tracing. It's included in it. So if the skip tracing is included, the comping, the CRM, the ninja mode, which allows you to do the follow-up, which is absolutely a requirement for what you're doing, and you can pull all the lists you want, go with the simple model with XLEADS. It just works. It works. Like, there's a reason I don't have an affiliate program, because I'm trying to give you guys the best deal humanly possible. So even my closest competitor can't even get close to this number. And I know they're not including skip tracing, and I know you can't upload and download. So make a decision what you're going to do. And the good thing about XLEADS, it's also going to give you a wholesale score, so you know if you're in the right numbers, especially when you're starting out. Remember, it's an all-in-one platform. You start out with the basics. I don't want you to get it till you at least get one deal under your belt. Take $49 a month, because you should be able to 10x that and getting massive return without committing to an employee. At this point, you have no office. You don't need any of that stuff. So, and then the specific I want to do is teach you how to pull the vacancy list. I like to pull at least twice a year. And then I'm going to show you how to go over to freewholesaling.com and pull the basic high equity filters. And remember, this gives you 15,000 leads a month. Going to be a challenge to get through 15,000 leads a month, because at this point, we've been mostly doing door knocking, reverse driving for dollars, cold calling, and texting. So now when you get the XLEADS, if you want to push it over the top, this is where you can partner up with people. You can have people do a pay-for-play marketing for you, whatever it is. This is where you can start adding systems to quantifiably grow your business. Now, I'm going to jump to month 7 here, because we got to go through 12 months. And remember, we're cumulatively building. After we add the software like XLEADS, we're going to do more bandit signs. Instead of doing 10, you're going to do like 30. And you're going to turn it into a set clockwork. And then what you can do is the bird dogs. Why do I say bird dogs? No, we're not going hunting. Don't worry. Bird dogs are people that go out and actively find deals for you. These are people that are super interested in anything real estate, but they have no money, they have no skills, they have no leads, they don't know what to do, they're just eager. And sometimes these people are good. Now, the average bird dog, I don't want to scare you, I have to have 100 bird dogs to have 3 that will just kick ass. So how do I do it? Use your XLEADS account. You have 15,000 leads to pull from with the phone numbers. Are you going to be able to do it all yourself? No. Go find someone that will help you rip through. And remember, a bird dog's only job is to locate. So if I was out hunting and I had a bird dog, they're going to wiggle their tail or give you some sort of bark and point you and say, there's a bird over here. So your bird dog is going to point you to a motivated seller. That's all they need to find. People in pre-foreclosure, behind on their taxes, people on the eviction list, people that are on the code violation list, people that somebody passed away in probate. These are the easiest way to find the fire. Look for the smoke. Look for problem areas, probates, tax delinquencies, pre-foreclosures, evictions, divorce. It's not hard. And then when these people find something, you can give them a marketing fee, $500, $1,000, whatever you want to do. It just can't be dependent on the closing. And right there, you can go out and create an entire army. Now be careful, these people will suck your time dry. This is where you can do local meetup groups. You can do online meetings. You can use Zoom, whatever. And remember, you're going to have mass quantity to find the people that actually swing the bat. These are future business partners, possibly. These are definitely JV partners in the future. And honestly, some of the coolest friends you can ever have because they're on the same plight as you. You just have more tools. So by using XLEADS, not only can we pull the list, you get 15,000, you get the skip trace, and now you can create your own bird dogs. And we're going to do more sign campaigns. And by the way, I had signed people all over the state for me putting out signs. Now, it is a pain in the butt to get people to put out signs because they want to reward it. You're going to have to give them gas cards and you're going to have to make them accountable. And there's plenty of tools you can do that. Go to freewholesaling.com. We'll show you how to do it. So now we're going to go to month 8. And month 8 is the one I'm going to give you a break because you need to get all this stuff and get it going. Because by month 8, we want you to get the 5 deals. Now, in theory, they can be 5 ink deals because some of these things take time. And remember, you're running a marathon, not a sprint. You want to look, a sprinter always looks good, but they always quit or they take huge breaks sometimes for years. You know, the people tell you they're going to come back. I left wholesaling, now I'm going to come back. Wholesaling got too busy, I had to take a break. Listen, if you do wholesaling right, you never have to take a break. I've been doing this 22 years. Have I taken mental breaks? Yeah, but I've never stopped wholesaling. I love it too much. It's a lot of fun. But I know if I left, it would take me 10 times the amount of effort to get started again. So if you start wholesaling and you quit, you have to keep going through the cycle all over again. And I don't want you to do that. So the goal, you always have to have a target, is to get the 5 deals. Why? 5 statistically shows you are cut out for wholesaling. Now, it doesn't guarantee you're going to make it, but it goes to show if you can fight through outbound marketing, you can go knock on doors, reverse driving for dollars, cold call people, text endlessly, and hang in there with the amount of rejection you're going to get. If I show you how to scale this business and now you understand the core fundamentals of wholesaling, dude, this becomes fun, a lot of fun. And this is the part everybody wants to skip in wholesaling. The last 7 months has cut your teeth to get to this point. Wait, did you really think everybody started out with paid per click leads and they just were automatically got it? No. They started out, a lot of people started out door knocking, good old fashioned ways, networking. And why should it be any different for you? Is there better technology now? Absolutely. Well, remember, all you have to do is outwork your fellow wholesalers, and they're just average. Do you want to be average or do you want to be elite? The elite, in my opinion, get to 5 deals. Now, it's not a race. It's not who gets here the fastest. It's who acquires the highest marketing skills and gets the fundamentals of wholesaling. Because at this point, you're pretty much what I call a junior master marketer. You understand what you're looking for. So now if you want to have a conversation with someone with pay per leads or pay per click, you can ask the important questions. What's the click-through ratios? What's the conversion ratios? What's the cost per lead? And where is this industry going over the next year? Oh my God, they know what they're talking about. We can't just screw them over. And that's why you've got to understand marketing, because a good marketer makes everything sound so good. Like, it's like, oh my God, just like it's so, but then when you get to the work and you start asking questions like, okay, how do we deal with this? What do I do with this? What happens if this happens? How do I pay you for this? How long should I do it for? What's the expected return on investment? And if you don't know that, it's easy to quit because you don't know how long to endure it and what to expect. So the whole fundamentals up to month 8 is doing outbound marketing, starting inbound marketing, and putting it all together to do master marketing. Once you do that, we're on month 8, and I am praying to God you got up to 5 deals. But honestly, if you have 3 at this point and you got a couple inked, you're well on your way. Now, if it takes you a year and a half, 6 months, or 3 months, there's so many factors that are out of your control. Your market, average price medians, and world events. But understand what is in control: your attitude and your ability to show up to work every day and market. If you'll do that, you'll make a tremendous difference. If you just want to market on days that you feel like doing it, but other days you don't, you're probably not going to make it. Just the absolute truth on it. So let's get to 5 deals. Why? Because at 5 deals, now we can really make a run at this for a business. Because now you understand what you're looking for. You understand what a motivated seller looks like. You understand how the deal starts from head to toe. Because at this point, you probably got your contracts inked, really didn't know what you're doing, And I'm going to re-certify to you that you don't have to be a closing ninja to be in wholesaling. You just have to have the confidence to talk to people, to listen to people, and solve people's problems. There's no magic words to close people in wholesaling. They are one-off customers typically. We do not get a lot of repeat customers. Occasionally I do, somebody owns 3 or 5 properties, but for the most part, it's 1 or 2 properties and you're done with them. So I don't want you to think like there's this magical used car salesman strategy we don't use. I show up sometimes with a hat, sometimes without a hat, sometimes a t-shirt, sometimes a collared shirt. Why? It's just because who I am. And I mirror people and I learn to talk to them. Now, am I using sales techniques to increase my odds? Yes. But in the end, I'm a good listener, I solve problems, and I'm authentic. How we get there? You can debate this till you turn blue. All I know is I've been doing this 22 years and my techniques have worked phenomenally. So if somebody wants to shoot, that's fine. When they get to 22 years, we'll look at theirs head to toe all the way and see all. Now, I'm gonna tell you, my 22 years, I've used so many different marketing techniques. If I ever depended on one, I wouldn't be here talking to you. And I've learned as soon as you get dependent on one, you're going to have a problem. Why? It's either going to get bid up, it's going to be out legislated, outlawed, whatever you want to call it, and then you got to go figure out something else. So having that good balance of marketing and wholesaling makes a phenomenal difference. So when we get to month 9, we're definitely going to switch much more to inbound marketing. Why? Because you have some funds and we need to buy back some of your time. How do I do it? My direct mail postcard, hands down. This is called scaling. Why do I start with direct mail when it comes to scaling? It's proven. I know the exact cost. I know the exact return on investment. You want to know what the return on investment is? When you start, it's 2 times. If I put in 3 grand, my goal within 90 days is to make 6 grand. You double your money. Any of you would take that in a heartbeat. But here's the good news. Once you become prolific in it, the expectation is get to a 5 times return. So if I put in 3, I get 15. And if you get really good, you can get up to an 8 to 10 times return. I'm really good at what I do with direct mail. I look at it as an investment in my company. I don't look at it as an expense. If you look at direct mail as an expense, it means you don't understand the game. And it takes time to understand. And you're going to freak out when you first do direct mail. Everyone I ever work with. So I have a partnership with direct mail. And even to show my first few students I did, I paid for the marketing because I knew I'd get such a phenomenal response. And what the secret to direct mail is stop listening to everyone online. It doesn't work. It's like, it's old school. Listen, it's legal, it's scalable, and you can do it with one person. That is the first scaling opportunity you have in wholesaling. It's not pay per click. It's not pay per lead because you're still learning to talk to people. At this point, you can carry a conversation with people. You understand all the acronyms and the words with real estate. And at this point, you feel confident you can carry a conversation. So at this point, they're calling you, telling you what their problems, you're qualifying them. You got to answer your phone, just like I told you, just like on bandit signs. Answer your phones and assume everyone calls you has a problem and you need to solve it. And after 90 days, I know that sounds like a long time, you will get a return. You're either going to get a contract, and then the more you do it, the better you get at your data, you dial it in. And this is these systems go from, you just got 5 deals. The idea is now we're going to double you to 10 deals. And we're going to do that within 90 days. Once we do that, you're off to the races. And direct mail, you have to start small and slow so you understand how to build a marketing program, how to pull the leads, how to create a consistent effort and get all your mail out and just keep it like clockwork so it never stops. So there's never a break. And after 3 months, you're going to build up so many leads compiled on your outbound marketing. And you go, Rick, I think I need some help. And when you need help, that's when wholesaling gets a lot of fun. But the reality is most of you don't get to the 5 deals. So like, why are we going to spend time doing it? So once you do this, I'm going to teach you how to answer your phones. And then the final part of it. See, at this point, you're in the acquisitions phase, and that means you're learning how to talk to people and negotiate to them. Once you get the marketing, you get tenfold the amount of opportunities. And that's where you dial in negotiations, by just through the repetitions. And you're going to have to practice in private what you get rewarded for in public. Some of you don't want to do that. You're going to find the hard way to do this. But I'm telling you, once you put outbound, you add inbound, you do your confidence, and you commit to a program like direct mail, then we can jump the months 10 through 12. And so at this point, so the XLEADS program is meant to grow with your wholesaling business. Most softwares try to hit you with, you get 5 users, you get unlimited skip tracing. You don't need any of that crap in the beginning. You just need to pull list. That's why I give you the $49 a month program. Sorry, why? Because it's the best bang for your buck. Once you start doing deals and you get up to like 3 to 5 deals, switch over to the X Pro plan. Why? 60,000 leads a month, 60,000 skip trace. You could smoke through 5 or 6 different towns just in their government list alone on the skip tracing. And we are going to focus heavily on negotiations. There's the point where you can have all the bird dogs in the world, because 60,000 leads is a lot. And I'm telling you, is once we do that, then you can bring people in. This is where you can make decisions if you want to hire people to work with you on the marketing, on the income side, not on the back side, because you're not ready for it. You do not need a transaction coordinator. That is going to be one of the last people you hire on it. Now, once we do that, if you really want, so at this point, you have mastered marketing, you're getting good at acquisitions, which is negotiations. And the final part when you do the XLEADS Pro plan is now you can master dispositions, because all their phone numbers are in there, the amount of properties they own, the average purchase price. It will show you in proximity on where your flips are going on, so you can find the cash buyers there. And guys, you just can't beat this. And so the whole idea of how we work with XLEADS is to give you things that will help you grow your business, but only give what you can handle at the time. Number 1, financially, and number 2, what you can mentally handle to attack acquisitions, specifically negotiations and dispositions. Most of you don't need dispositions tools in the beginning. I'm sorry, you can do it the old school way. It's not that hard. You're going to have to focus on marketing. There's no other way to do it. So if you want to do that, this is kind of my recommendation for you to do everything that you want to do it on there. So keep in mind, guys, that